Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. So today I want to share some tips for photographing wedding details. Before we jump right in, I just want to let you guys know that I do have a freebie for you down in the description, and it's on 5 tips to nailing your ring shots. So if you're having a hard time nailing those ring shots and getting them great every single time, grab that freebie. It's going to give you some really awesome tips to help get you started. All right, so tip number 1 for this video is to prepare really well. I'm always asking my couples to have the details ready for me when I arrive. I'm telling them this in their wedding guide and email the week before their wedding so that they have everything ready to go, and it helps prepare them to know what to expect. And then I usually get there a little bit early. I usually arrive like 30 minutes early, which is pretty early, but honestly, I found it to be really helpful because I love having extra time to photograph details anyway. By the time I say hi to the bride and everyone in the room and get the details, it can be about 30 minutes until I actually sit down and start shooting and find a spot and everything. So I just find it really helpful to arrive early, especially if you want the extra time to shoot details. And it just helps give you a better start to the day so you have extra time and you're not stressed about that at all. Tip number 2 is to bring a detail styling bag. So I actually have a full video on everything that's in my styling bag. The link is in the description, so you can go check that out if you want. But just bring some things along like ribbon and fabric, some extra ring boxes maybe, some wooden hangers. Just really helps to elevate your details and start attracting brides who are going to have more high-end details. Number 3 is to have a really great strategy for your workflow for shooting details. So I don't know about you, but when I photograph details, sometimes I can get really overwhelmed with everything I have to photograph in such a short amount of time. Usually I only have 30 to 45 minutes to photograph details, and I try to stick to that time pretty well. So I know that can be really stressful, especially when you think about all the different things you have to photograph, but just having a really good workflow going into it is going to be really, really helpful. I actually have a details mini course coming out super soon if it's not out already. If you want to be the first to know when it comes out, join that, get that freebie in the link in the description, and you'll get on my email list and you'll be the first to know when it comes out and get a big discount and all of that. I go way more in depth in that course, but my main overall big idea with my strategy is just to start big and then to go small. So I photograph all of the big shots first. So this is like the bride's, all of her details. So like the shoes with the rings and the jewelry and garter and all of that. And then I do one big shot of the full invitation suite. So I get all of those big shots first. Sometimes I'll even do like the bride's shoes with the bouquet. Sometimes I'll do like just the groom's details together. Once I have those big shots, then I move on to some of the smaller shots. So what I mean by smaller is just photographing every single piece individually. So like I photograph just the shoes alone, just the jewelry alone, just the rings alone, all of that. I photograph all those individually and making sure I get horizontal and vertical of everything, changing on my angles so I have as much variety as possible. My 4th tip is to make sure to find good lights. I usually try to find window light pretty close to a window and make sure all the lights around me are turned off. The reason this is because if you have all of like the artificial light on and then you have like window light coming in, it can make everything look kind of orange, like I have an orange cast on it in addition to like the bluish natural light. So making sure you turn off all of the lights is going to help get rid of all that orange that can show up in your details. So for example, if you're shooting the rings, you're going to see kind of that orange light on the rings, and that's coming from the artificial lights that are on. So just making sure that they're off so they're not getting in your shots and you're just having natural light light up your details. My last and final tip is to make sure that you remember your why behind shooting details. I know for me, it's to serve the couple really well, to serve the other vendors really well, but also just to preserve those memories and all the details they spent so long preparing for. So just keeping that in mind can help you to not feel as overwhelmed and not feel like you have to do every variety of every shot and style everything in like 10 different ways. Just making sure you're capturing it well and staying within your time frame so you don't stress the bride out because you're running behind and shooting details. Just remembering that why is really going to help you stay grounded in why it's important to shoot details, and why shooting details beautifully is also super important. So hope you guys really like this. Grab that freebie down below if you haven't already about shooting ring shots really well, and I can't wait to share more next week. Bye guys.